Today we are going to make hard-boiled eggs, but in the air fryer. So the first thing you're going to do is put them in your air fryer. And you want to preheat your air fryer, but this thing gets to the temperature like immediately. So we're just putting them in the air fryer, and we're going to do 300 for like 12 minutes. I tried this twice yesterday and it just didn't work. So we're going to figure out if I can make it work. So about 12 minutes at 300. And I honestly just don't understand why it didn't work. So somebody said Teflon. So I am not scared of the Teflon in my air fryer or the nonstick coating in my frying pan, because there are plenty of things out there that are bad for you. And the number one thing is obesity. And when people tell you to avoid Teflon or avoid nonstick coating, they make the idea of getting healthy so overwhelming for the 70% of adults who are overweight and on the verge of becoming obese and diabetic. So if you're trying to get healthy, you can ignore all of that and just stop eating junk food, and I guarantee you, as your weight goes down, your risk of death will go down as well. So, and somebody said, do you have a cold? Yes, Wendy. I thought that, speaking of health, I don't think that my use of Teflon and nonstick coating makes me prone to getting colds, but this is a whole topic that has been so frustrating for me the past few days, because I started keto in 2016 and I didn't get sick maybe once or twice from 2016 to 2022. And then we had a baby and I still really didn't get sick. But about 3 or 4 months ago, Anna started taking Sophia to gatherings where there are other babies, like playgrounds, indoor play gyms, like mommy meetups and stuff. And ever since then, I've been sick 3 times in like the past 4 months. So I think my body just wasn't being exposed to any viruses, and none of them have like taken me out where I'm not able to work, or where I feel like maybe like one day I felt like a train hit me, and that was the last time I got sick. But it's so frustrating. Like having kids just, I guess is, and I went on Reddit and was like talking about it with people, and it seems like no matter what health protocols you follow, having kids is like the one thing where you just can't, you're just gonna get sick. And I think once my body goes through like the 3 colds or whatever this year, I'll start being more used to being exposed to viruses. But it has been kind of frustrating to go from identifying as someone who is impossible to get sick to like 3 times in the past couple months. And there are also other things that I don't do, like wash my hands. I really don't wash my hands, which I might start now. And another thing is supplementing vitamin D. Most of the like actual doctors that I follow on social media talk about supplementing very high doses of vitamin D, and the data on it is like not that great. But the people who are like really on the cutting edge of this say that higher doses of vitamin D are good. So I used to think that, oh, I go on a 30-minute walk every morning and I go running with my shirt off 3 days a week. But even in Texas, it's like cloudy all winter. I'm wearing a hoodie in the mornings. So I think I'm going to start supplementing vitamin D and see if that helps as well. You are just going through a cleanse. That is true. All right, Arrow Girl says if you put eggs in the air fryer for 15 minutes at 270, they come out perfect. Is your kitchen white or gray? Asking for a friend. So the cabinets are white and the backsplash is gray. Good answer about the Teflon. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where maybe we'll look back on it and be like, oh, all these people who are using air fryers got cancer. But I don't think that's going to be the case, because it's just like, unless you are heating your air fryer up to 400 and then like scraping the edges with a fork and then biting what's on the fork, I don't think you're gonna get any like toxic levels of Teflon in you. My son is a surgeon. He says number 1 is wash your hands. Yeah, and I don't want to give Anna too much responsibility, but what I think I also read was like whenever Sophia does leave a playground, we should use like some like disinfectant wipes on her hands and stuff. So I might ask her to start doing that too. And the vitamin D that I'm supplementing, you mentioned D3, Rat Lady. I'm doing, I have this smaller dose version in my cabinet. The other one that should have came in today is 5,000 IUs. This is 1,000 IUs, and it's with K2 as well. So whenever you're supplementing vitamin D, you want to also do it with K2. Based on the research I've been doing, I think that is important. And magnesium, which I've told everyone a million times, if you're doing keto, supplement magnesium, especially if you're struggling to sleep. But magnesium and vitamin D work together, so you want to make sure you're not deficient in actually either of those. Laura is talking about how vitamin C helped as well. Nice. I have a vitamin C supplement too. Really, I take like a multivitamin, but I could go through a list of a lot of the supplements that I take, and it would take forever. I don't take a lot of them for like physical health. A lot of them I take, even the magnesium, was more so just to like relax and fall asleep at night. And I take like choline in the morning because it gives your like focus a boost. And I take a lot of supplements like that. Best form of magnesium. I think the most affordable one that you're gonna absorb is glycinate. I recently started taking one though that's like a full spectrum magnesium, and it's way too expensive. I'm just gonna go back to glycinate. Yup, Shannon, you already know the vibes. Shout out to Shannon and OG Turtle. What kind of multivitamin do you take? So I just take the big multivitamin bottle from Costco. I'm sure all of my health gurus would say I should be taking something that's not just like the regular multivitamin, but that's what I take. Do you work for Amazon? I do not, but I order a lot from Amazon. Why don't you wash your hands? I don't know, like I do it so much when I'm cooking with meat, and it just always dries out my hands no matter what soap I use. So it's just something I really don't do. Use foil if you're uncomfortable. Wait, why would you use foil? If you put the eggs in your air fryer? What tips for meal prep with keto do you recommend? I'll answer this one, Disco Queen. What air fryer do you use? I have the Ninja Max XL. It's the greatest air fryer I've ever had. I used to get I had like the instant one that I also liked, but it eventually died on me after a year, so now I use this one, and I really like it. I like that it has the glass window, so you can like see inside of it. Okay, so what tips for meal prep? I am not a huge meal prepper because I kind of just go with the flow. Like, even though I eat the same things every day, and this has 3 more minutes. Even though I eat the same things every day, I still like having the freedom to switch it up if I want. So if I meal prep like 7 days worth of food, I think just knowing that I have to eat that, even if I already would eat it anyway, kind of makes me not want it anymore, because it's like, oh, now I have to eat it. So I am not the best person to come to for meal prep advice. Although now with Sophia, we are getting more into the idea of like making big batches of stuff, because she's kind of picky. So when we find something she likes, for example, we did a pot roast a couple weeks ago and she really loved it. So I'm opening my mind more to the idea of like making a big 12 serving recipe so that we can put it in the fridge, and that'll be Sophia's dinner for the week. But for myself, I just feel too restricted when I like meal prep. What do you eat the same thing every day? All right, so for breakfast, I eat like 4 eggs every day, which you can't really meal prep eggs. And the healthiest way to eat eggs, by the way, is runny yolks, because when you overcook them, a lot of the beneficial parts of it are like not there anymore. So if you're into eggs and you want them to like truly be the superfood that they are, eating them with runny yolks is the key. Shout out to Kristen. Hey, I meal prep 3 days at a time. That's actually a good plan, so that on the days where I can like decide, okay, I don't have to eat this every day. Pot roast is great. Sophia has good taste. So Jezerelica, for a while there, the only thing she would eat was mac and cheese, and I told myself we would never give Sophia mac and cheese, but she just wasn't eating anything. So we started giving her mac and cheese and she liked it. And I was terrified that was just going to be our life where, man, she's not eating anything with nutrients. She's only going to eat mac and cheese. And she got out of that phase though. So now she's back to eating things. And the pot roast was like the first thing that got her out of her mac and cheese phase. Now she's back to eating anything. I gave her sardines the other day. She loved them. She's eating her eggs again. So, she just went through this little phase where she was like super picky. What is Sophia's favorite food? Her favorite food are these puffs. I have some right here. They're not the best ingredients, but she goes insane for these. And like, say we're driving home from somewhere and it's about to be her nap time and we don't want her to fall asleep, or we're driving home after dinner and she goes to bed at 8:30 but it's like 7, and if she falls asleep it'll throw off her sleep schedule. We put some of these in a container and give them to her, and she will just like reach it. It's like the container that's hard to get into. She will go crazy for those. All right, let's check on these eggs. I think they're almost done. You can make a mac and cheese tutorial. I want to make her like cauliflower mac and cheese because she does like mac and cheese so much. K. Marie, you can't do runny eggs. I mean, eggs are still a superfood, but the way that they're the most healthy, they're still healthy however you cook them, is with runny yolks. Oh, foil people are concerned about the coating in the air fryer. Oh, that's a good idea. That's going to be my response now. Thank you, Christina. So yeah, for anyone who says something about Teflon. All right, guys. The last time I tried this, it did not work. So and I actually have, oh my God, my throat is like so dry. And I have a blooper video that I'm gonna post soon about this recipe because I tried to make it. I would say yesterday was like the height of me not feeling good because my throat was scratchy on Thursday, and usually my instinct is like, all right, I'm just gonna rest for 2 days. I'm not gonna do anything. Right now we're putting them in ice water. And so on Thursday, my throat was a little scratchy. I was like, all right, let me rest. But then Friday, I woke up feeling amazing. So we had our usual like fun day out. We went to this place called Wonder Spaces, and right now they're just sitting in a water bath. We went to this cool place in Austin. I don't think it's high enough because part of the egg is still exposed, so let's get a bigger bowl. But we went to this place called Wonder Spaces on Friday, and then we went to Korean barbecue. And I didn't even eat off plan. I just ate a ridiculous amount of kimchi. And because I knew, I was like, all right, I was sick yesterday. Let me get all the probiotics. I just ate like a ton of kimchi and meat. And yeah, the meat does have some sugar in the sauce. But that's like my Friday treat. So I had like the beef bulgogi or whatever. And then we went shopping. We went to Hobby Lobby and got some Christmas stuff. And I felt great all day. And I screwed up because I should have rested on Friday. We should have done our fun day out like today. And on Friday and Saturday, I should have just took it easy because I woke up Friday feeling like, or Saturday, yesterday, feeling like crap. And I did this recipe. So I literally did this recipe step for step, the exact same way. I just used my other air fryer, which went down to 270 or 275, and because this one only goes down to 300, which you still can do. That's why we did 12 minutes. But that one I did 275 for 15 minutes. And you guys will see, I'm going to post the blooper video of what happened. It did not work out. So we're going to see if this works again. But I powered through the day. I wasn't feeling that good yesterday. I powered through this recipe video. And at the end, I was like, oh no, I shot this whole video for it to not work out. So I have to try it again. Okay, so back to what I was saying. If you're scared of the Teflon in your air fryer, use the foil or parchment liners, and your food will not be touching the toxic Teflon. So that's going to be my response for now on. How many eggs do you eat per week? I eat 4 eggs a day. If I'm putting heavy cream in my coffee, so if I'm doing super keto macros where I'm very high fat, I'll do that sometimes. I think it helps with energy, especially if you're new to keto. Flooding your body with fat, it converts to ketones and you have more energy when you're on a low carb diet. I need something to drink, hold on. So on days where I put heavy cream in my coffee, I still want to make sure I'm getting enough protein. So I start my day with 6 eggs, which people who start their day with even if it's a piece of keto bread, who cares about the carbs? But people who start their day with toast with avocado on it and 2 eggs, and then you just put creamer in your coffee, even if it's 0 calorie or whatever, that is such a bad idea. You want to have 30 or more grams of protein at each meal if you're trying to be in shape, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to have an easy time maintaining your weight loss. You want to get at least 30 grams of protein per meal. So if you start your day with a piece of bread and avocado on it and then 2 little eggs, you're eating 12 grams of protein. You need to either eat more eggs or have some yogurt with it or put a protein shake in your coffee. So what I was saying about how many eggs I eat, if I'm just putting heavy cream in my coffee, I'm not putting a protein shake in it, then I have 6 eggs to make sure I'm still getting over 30 grams of protein. If I put a protein shake in my coffee, I have 4 eggs. So I think calorically they're both around the same. But 30 grams of protein per meal as a minimum. Because if you weigh 150 pounds, ideally, you want to try and get 150 grams of protein per day, at least around there, as close as you can to that. And if you're doing 30 grams for 3 meals, that's really only 90. So maybe you could sneak in a protein shake at some point, or have dessert be Greek yogurt with a scoop of protein powder. People don't realize how much they would benefit from upping their protein. I saw a post today that said this: if you have a problem overeating sugar, you're not getting enough salt. If you have a problem overeating carbs, you're not getting enough protein. And it's so true. When you don't get enough protein and then you open a bag of chips, you're just not as satiated. If you just start your day with junk food, it's so much easier to overeat the junk food. And if you start your day with protein, your ability to say no when you feel full is so much stronger. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try cracking them, and I really hope that they work. So if you weigh 270 pounds and you're trying to lose 70 pounds, if you're 270 pounds and you're just getting started, your daily calories are probably very high. The amount of calories you have to eat to get to 270 pounds is very high. So the percentage of calories coming from protein is not gonna be ridiculous for you to get even 1 gram of protein per goal weight. So if you just want to get to 200 pounds, someone who weighs 270, the amount of calories you're eating, it's not that crazy to get 200 grams of protein per day, considering where all of the other calories are coming from. Okay, let's find out if it worked. If it didn't work, It's like the moment of truth. It's cracked. If it didn't work, I have to get off here anyway, but so we're not going to be able to try it a different way. What was I doing wrong yesterday? I think it worked. I don't understand. I did it exactly. So I did the 275 for 15 minutes. This one was 300 for 12 minutes. But yesterday, the egg like popped out of the shell when I tried to open it. It was still liquid. Oh, wait, it's stuck. So it's actually, we're going to find out if it's easier to peel. I know there's like the trick where you boil it with baking powder, or baking soda, whatever. But we didn't have any of that for the air fryer. If you roll the egg on the counter. Oh, good tip. That made it a little easier. Thank you. All right, guys, so when you're peeling it, roll it on the counter. This is like, boiled eggs are one of my favorite foods, especially when they're like kind of jammy in the middle. But peeling them is just not worth it to me. We used to actually buy some stuff you have to stick to the old way. And that's the moral of the story when I did the video yesterday of like air fryer eggs. I like go through the recipe video as if they're gonna turn out good. And then when I start peeling it at the end, the whole thing is just a liquid and it falls out. And I say, never mind, just stick to boiling them. But yeah, I'm finding this to be a little harder than if they were boiled. But we're still gonna eat it because I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Oh, thank you for the tip, Bridget. Random question, what's your favorite dish to cook? Oh no, now I lost a huge chunk of egg. My favorite dish to cook, I don't know, probably like a low-carb tortilla pizza or a steak. I think steak is my favorite. If we're talking about like the healthiest thing that I love eating and I love cooking, probably just throwing a steak on the grill or putting steak bites in the air fryer. You mix them with like salt, pepper, butter, garlic, Worcestershire sauce, and they're so good. Just cut a steak into bite-sized pieces. It doesn't even have to be a great cut of steak, like any of them. All right, so this is what we got. We lost a little bit of the edges. Let's cut it in half. Oh, nice. It's not super dry in the middle. Yeah, steak is literally the best. I think it's the greatest food ever. So never, ever, ever, if someone tells you to cut back on red meat, cut back on carbs first, cut back on junk food, processed food first, go back to your doctor and say, hey, I know you said to stop eating red meat, but instead I just stopped eating cereal for breakfast and Pop-Tarts for brunch and a bag of potato chips for lunch and junk food and ice cream for dessert. And I still eat steak, but look, all of my blood work is 1,000 times better because that's what will happen. The reason they tell you not to eat red meat and they tell you that red meat is bad for you is because the studies done on those people are looking at someone. So like you see a study that says red meat increases your risk of cancer and diabetes and all of these bad things. They're like surveying people who eat a cheeseburger versus someone who orders a salad. They're like, the person who gets the cheeseburger and fries and large soda compared to the people who don't eat red meat, which if you don't eat red meat, what are you going to get? You're getting the salad. So they compare them to the person who gets the salad or the piece of fish with like vegetables. It's not that red meat is bad for you. It's just that when they survey these people, they're comparing like the average Joe who just gets a cheeseburger and fries to people who avoid red meat, which are typically aiming for like salads and stuff. So go back to your doctor after cutting out junk food and still eating steak and be like, look how much better my blood work is. All right, we're gonna taste it, see if it's any better. I gotta put some, actually, I have some everything bagel handy. Everything bagel on boiled eggs is really good. You know what? The white part tastes kind of weird. Actually, maybe I just had a weird bite. Let's see. Oh, dang, Adrian. Yeah, I was more referring to, like, if someone tells you you're gonna get diabetes from red meat, or things that are more related to, like, your metabolic health. All right, these are pretty good. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you to hanging out. I wasn't gonna go live. I was like, man, I'm still stuffy. I don't want to be that guy who's like promoting a healthy diet and always sick. But I just want to share the reality of being a parent, because it's so frustrating to go 7 years of making perfect choices, like doing the best I can to be healthy, exercising, getting morning sunlight. Even Sophia sleeps great, so our sleep is great. Like, we're not sleeping poorly, and you can still get sick. It's like doing all of these health things is not going to make you invincible like I used to think so. It probably does make the severeness of it not that bad. Like I said, of all the times I've gotten sick, I've only felt like a train hit me for like a day, and that was like during a stomach virus. And the rest of the time it's like, oh, my nose is runny, I feel a little low energy, but my heart rate variability is still good. So I just wanted to share the reality of the situation. So I'll see you guys later. I love you. I believe in you. Have a blessed rest of your night.